The Money in the Bank concept debuted in 2005 and it's well established for being one of the most popular match types in WWE. Due to the match involving multiple ladders and traditionally 6 or more superstars, the risk for mistakes is extremely high. Over the years there have been some dangerous and downright scary mistakes in the match type, and certain WWE superstars were lucky to not come out of the match with a serious injury. But which times were they? Well, join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 of the worst Money in the Bank botches. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and a non-wrestling channel, Incredible. Number 10. Zelina Vega gets taken out by thin air. It's common in Money in the Bank matches for superstars to perform a spot which sees one superstar dive from a ladder whilst everyone else in the match awkwardly waits around them to, safely catch them. Although these spots are overdone, they always receive a great reaction from the live audience. However, when Nikki Cross jumped off a ladder onto another woman in the 2021 edition of the match, Zelina Vega performed a notable yet hilarious botch. Once Cross landed, she didn't remotely make any contact with Vega, but Vega decided to fall to the ground and sell anyway. It kinda looked ridiculous, and it was clear that Vega didn't know how to react to the situation. Number 9. Starship Bodge. John Morrison is one of the most athletic and gifted superstars of all time, but even Morrison is prone to a botch or two. During the 2021 Men's Money in the Bank, Morrison would get set to perform a trademark Starship pain on Drew McIntyre, who was lying prone on a ladder. Something went horribly wrong upon the execution of the move as Morrison flubbed the landing. Instead of performing a Starship pain, Morrison performed an elbow drop. The worst thing about this was that Morrison's elbow connected with the edge of the ladder, and it was a miracle that he wasn't seriously hurt. Number 8. Camera angles ruin Money in the Bank spot. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, WWE were forced to hold 2020's Money in the Bank at WWE HQ. This was an innovative idea, and fans had mixed views on the presentation of the match. During the match itself, Baron Corbin would seemingly commit murder as he would throw Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio off the roof of WWE HQ. This was quite a sinister spot, especially for a PG product, but WWE completely botched the spot by revealing that WWE's HQ roof had crash pads surrounding it. Okay, we know that he wasn't going to throw him off the roof legitimately, but WWE didn't even try to hide the fact that there were crash pads in place. This could have been a truly memorable spot, that's if WWE didn't recklessly reveal the crash pads. Number 7. Dolph Ziggler's rough landing. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view used to feature 2 Money in the Bank matches, one for each respective brand. In 2012, the SmackDown version of the match suffered from poor pacing and a ton of mistakes as a result. Take for instance when Tyson Kidd performed a sunset powerbomb onto Dolph Ziggler. Kidd springboarded using the ladder, then executed the powerbomb while Ziggler was on another ladder. It was unclear if the timing was off, but Ziggler for whatever reason took a front face bump and landed on his face. It looked incredibly dangerous and looked like Ziggler was gonna have a bad landing, so we attempted to improvise in the heat of the moment. Number 6. Tensai drops Santino Marella. Speaking of the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match in 2012, one of the worst botches in the match came when Santino Marella was attempting to climb the ladder. This attempt to win the match would be intercepted by Tensai, who would get Santino in a powerbomb position. Tensai awkwardly lost his footing and dropped Santino. Santino could have easily landed on his head or even a ladder. It was clearly a timing issue which caused this, and this goes to show just how serious a botch can take place at any time during a match. Money in the Bank ladder match can get incredibly hectic. Number 5. Alberto Del Rio botches the match finish. One of the most important moments of the Money in the Bank match is the match finish, of course. This is usually what fans remember most about the match, and it's vital that superstars involved all get it right. However, in 2011, during the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match, Alberto Del Rio completely botched the planned finish. The planned finish was to see Rey Mysterio and Del Rio fight it out at the top of the ladder. Del Rio would then unmask Mysterio and then push him off the ladder. Del Rio would then simply stay on the ladder and unhook the briefcase to secure the win. Unfortunately, once Del Rio pushed Mysterio off the ladder, Del Rio's ladder awkwardly fell over, resulting in a major botch. An irritated Del Rio then had to set the ladder up once again to win the match, which obviously took away a little bit from the finish. Number 4. Jack Swagger can't unhook the briefcase. At WrestleMania 26 in 2010, WWE decided to have Jack Swagger win the Money in the Bank briefcase. This was a rather controversial decision as no fan had any desire to see Swagger win the Money in the Bank briefcase and become world champion. Swagger lacked charisma and he failed to build up a genuine connection with the fans. The Money in the Bank reign of Swagger already got off to a bad start as when he was going to unhook the briefcase at the close of the match, he was unable to hook it. Swagger was on top of the ladder for an extended period as WWE's commentary team awkwardly sat in silence, with Matt Striker trying to break the awkwardness by shouting, "Can he do it?" Swagger would eventually unhook the briefcase to win the match to an audible groan from the WrestleMania crowd. Now WWE smartly edited out Swagger's struggle from the DVD and digital release of the pay-per-view, so now only fans who saw the event live can remember just how long it took Swagger to unhook the illustrious briefcase. Number 3, Alexa Bliss misses her cue. Now the finish of the Women's Money in the Bank match in 2018 was to see Becky Lynch almost unhook the briefcase before Alexa Bliss would come and tip the ladder over. But the issue here was that Bliss completely missed her cue. Lynch was at the top of the ladder for far too long and she virtually had the briefcase unhooked. The moment Bliss finally remembered her cue, Lynch stopped her in her tracks, even though she could have just unhooked the briefcase. It was a poorly executed spot and made Lynch look rather ridiculous as a result. Number 2, Cena wins? For the main event of Money in the Bank in 2012, WWE attempted to add a ton of star power to the ladder match. This match would feature John Cena, Big Show, Chris Jericho, Kane, and The Miz. The problem was that none of these superstars were known for taking major bumps, so WWE had to try and rely on storytelling rather than any huge spots. The finish of the match came when Cena was continuously hitting the Big Show with the briefcase when suddenly it snapped off. It was believed that this wasn't the planned finish. The planned finish was supposed to see Cena hit Big Show until Big Show fell off the ladder. Cena would then unhook the briefcase to win it. This botch is responsible for Cena pulling one of the most ridiculous faces ever, which instantly turned into a hilarious viral meme. And number 1, Brock Lesnar injures the poor cameraman. Right up until the closing moments of the match, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match in 2019 was looking to be an all-time great. Everyone in the match looked like a star, and it appeared that WWE were finally going to give the Money in the Bank briefcase to popular superstar Mustafa Ali, but that was until Brock Lesnar was randomly inserted into the match and instantly won. This was a spit in the face to everyone who was in the match and highlighted how WWE believes that Lesnar is a bigger star than anyone on the roster. Although Lesnar's involvement was minimal, he still managed to botch in a major way and injure 2 cameramen. Lesnar would run into the ring as Ali was at the top of the ladder, and as he entered the ring, he pushed a ladder into 2 cameramen. This was a reckless thing to do, and it was reported that the 2 cameramen in question were injured as a result. The cameramen aren't in-ring talents, so they should have never expected to be hurt in their place of work. I was disappointed to see this happen in the biggest wrestling company in the world. But there you have it folks, 10 of the worst Money in the Bank botches. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.